Hey, Scott Russell, I've been watching the news and the things that are going on here, and it's kicked up a level. I think these globalists, they know full well they have to break America. They know it has to happen. Significant things have to happen before the 2024 presidential election in November. So they are throwing everything they've got at this. And I've noticed on my group, I'm sharing constantly about digital currencies. I mean, they're saying that there's over 100 countries that are doing trials, but if you go on the IMF website, there's over, I think it's something like 140 or more countries are actually involved in that. So here in Australia, banks kicking it up a level to try to get rid of cash. Australia is locked and loaded to go central bank digital currency, and it's just a matter of time. So if you're in Australia and you're still like a deer in the headlights wondering, is this really happening? Is this like, by now, if you're not awake, you don't want to be awake. If you're not acting, you don't want to act. You don't know what to do. You've been incapacitated by something that's bigger than you. And this should serve as a great example of how you're just going to conform if you're like that. Because they're going to come along with an answer. You're looking for an answer. You're looking for me to be your answer or another man to be your answer of how can I get out of this. And many people like that, of course, they deny God. No, God's not real. Yeah, we'll soon find out, won't we? And I think a lot of people have turned their back on their spirituality, thinking that, I don't need it. Now's the time where you will need it, and you're going to find out you need it. And I think what we're seeing is so many times people are resorting to some man or some person to be their answer. So, we've got men who've had their manhood broken by women. We've got women that have got into their male energy and they're being more men than a lot of the men are. But now the answers aren't there. They don't have the answers. They're looking to their man. Their man's failed them because you've spent a lifetime training him to fail you. And I think it's time that everybody took responsibility for who they are, looked at the world and said, yep, we're locked and loaded to come apart at the seams. Everything, the agenda, because it's everything that comes under the spirit of the world is not going to be an answer. So the Bitcoiners, I mean, if you're honest, your whole thing's falling apart. I mean, BlackRock's running you. And you think you're helping the narrative. BlackRock is the narrative. BlackRock owns this. BlackRock is globalist. And you're now working for globalism. And globalism is running your currency. What are we seeing in the US now? Oh, well, they're going to outlaw individual crypto wallets, talking about doing that. It's going to go around the world. If you think there's an answer, you're deluded. If you think that there's some easy answer, the easy answer is to switch on to your spirituality, to find out that God is there. For me, it was a relationship with Jesus where I move under the spirit of freedom. And when I'm under the spirit of freedom, it brings life to everything that I touch. Are there dramas? Are there things that happen? Absolutely. I got women that are mad as hell with me. And, but does it stop me sleeping at night? Absolutely not. Life goes on. Do I have problems? Absolutely. But when I'm in the spirit of freedom, when I'm in the spirit of life, I follow the peace. And no matter what I'm walking, peace follows. And so I want to encourage those that are interested in an answer to say, you have the answer. But it's you swallowing your pride. You have the answer, but it's you swallowing your opinions on how God should function. Because you want to control God, don't you? You want to understand an eternal God. What arrogance to think that we can understand an eternal God and think that we can tell him what to do and what we need. What we all need is to actually humble ourselves and say, God, I need you. I need you to speak to my life. I need a romantic flow of the Spirit called freedom that I can flow in, because I'll never understand freedom. And so, hard word today, but a word that I think each and every one of us do well to heed. Because the way things are going, there is no easy answer. But there is the spirit of freedom that's calling to you, that's beckoning you. You feel it inside, and when you sit in the freedom of your spirit, things unwrap and do well. But when you try to then take that and make it a do, and I've got to control this. I like to say people do to be, and that's religion. I will do this and I will be free. No, you won't. You'll be a prisoner to what you're doing. Or you say, I am freedom. I will be who I am. And when I be freedom, I will do freedom. Freedom will flow out of that. I am freedom. Freedom is who I am, and it doesn't matter where I am or what's going on in my life. I am freedom. And when I am freedom, freedom actions follow. Freedom people are drawn to that. And I have community with those of like spirit. Those that want to control it, those that want to dominate it, those that want to manipulate it, they disappear. They get mad at me, they make up lies, they live their lie. But you know what? It's your lie. Knock yourself out. You go live in lies, you're going to get a rude awakening. Humble yourself. Be somebody that's not proud and arrogant and say, I don't have the answers. I am the answer. When I'm in God, when I'm linked to my Creator through the divine of God, I am the answer. And everything I do that flows out of that will bring life to who I am. God bless you. Stay strong. Keep going.